So today I'm going to talk about an semantic modeling for medicinal products, which relates to ontology that for this audience we didn't know a Pistoia Alliance who developed an IDMPO to represent medicinal products. So my main purpose is to introduce this ontology to everyone here. Second is to compare how it was being modeled in this ontology and how it compared to the other existing ontologies or semantic resources. So first, I want to give you a very quick introduction of what is Pistoia Alliance. So Pistoia Alliance is a global not-for-profit members organizations. The mission is to establish the pre-competitive collaborations across the life science, healthcare, R&D. So their members are mostly the pharma companies or the biotech companies and all other data or service companies provide service to those pharma or biotech companies. And the strategic priority for this organization is including deliver data-driven value at scale, accelerate use of real-world evidence, real-world data, sustainability, and harness AI to expedite the R&D in the pharma industry. So the data is actually the center for all the pharmaceutical companies in the industry right now. And this is most challenging, and it is a perfect space for pre-competitive collaboration. So the Pistoia has been developing a lot of projects that across from end to end, from the research R&D towards and deliver products, review, submission, and post-approval research and monitoring. The ontology projects that this organization has been or is going to be producing are this IDMPO ontology, which I will talk mostly, and then process CMC, that is for standardized representation of a laboratory process and maybe manufacturing processes. And the clean ops is more clinical trial processes. And there are more coming. For example, pharma general ontologies is more connecting controlled vocabularies across pharma companies, and equipment ontology for equipment used in the pharma industries. The first use case will be the cybersecurity in the equipments, and there are ontologies for real world data. Also, they're developing standard semantic API that will feed into the interface with standardized, ontology terms. So now we come back to medicinal products related ontology and semantic resources. So first of all, the IDMPO ontology representing the 5 ISO IDMP standards for identification of medicinal products. And then DRAGON ontology was the DRAGON was driven by the use case for comparative effectiveness research using claims data, which uses BuffOS top-level ontology, utilizes the NDCs, ArcSnorm, and our resources. And there are also SNOMED CT and ArcSnorm. They are more or less semantic resources in my opinion. So up to our ontologies, down to our semantic resources, they were more providing terminologies that covers, so SNOMED covers more for clinical contents like drugs, procedures, or any other things happened in the clinical events. And then ArcSnorm is more, the NLM developed the standard nomenclature for clinical drugs. So how they all representing medicinal products, for example, drug, how different or similar are they? Well, starting from the IDMP ontology, which aims to provide a universal implementation of the IDMP products data model as a common language, so that in the industry, pharma industry field, people can use same language to describe the pharmaceutical medicinal product from the R&D till all the way to the regulatory agencies. But it is based on these five. There are five standards that established to differentiate the identification of medicinal products. So those five standards provide data elements and the structure to describe medicinal products and all other related pharmaceutical products, units, dose form, substance, to describing a pharmaceutical product. So it's much complex than the drugs that we know. Here is an hierarchical view of IDMPO comparison with a Buffalo, because the drug ontology is using Buffalo hierarchy, and IDMPO is using an OMG library. OMG stands for Object Management Group. So Object Management Group is an open standard developing or maintaining group. This is IDMPO's top level ontology, top level hierarchies. Then the core IDMPO classes, including the medicinal product, substance, pharmaceutical products, and they are all a subclass of specification. And I will tell you later why, and how. And then there are other classes such as process, role, and composition. We have another paper presentation that is being submitted and presented at the JOA workshop to concentrate on how we align this IDMPO ontology to the basic form ontology so that we can establish some interoperabilities. So I suggest you to look at that to see how is our thoughts to align this to the basically IDMPO ontologies and basically the OMG libraries with a basic formal ontology. So the medicinal products in IDMPO is a specification, as I said before, for pharmaceutical product or combination of pharmaceutical products that may be administered to the human beings for treating, preventing diseases with a purpose of making a diagnose, restore, correct, or modify physiological functions. So this definition is adopted from the ISO standard, because the people who are developing ISO standard, they are not the ontologists. So when although they provide definitions and maybe data element structures, still it is a little bit confusing for all different industries who implement those standards. As we all know that everybody has their own perspective of interpretation of looking at a text. So the IDMPO's purpose is to make those definitions more explicit by the ontological definitions. So in this IDMPO, the medicinal product is an abstract informative entity, defines the packed medicinal products, and also specifies the physical medicinal products. And these terms linked to other terms such as country indication, dose form, name, shelf life, special measures, therapeutic indication, undesirable effect. So it has much more. And the standard makes difference between the pharmaceutical products and the medicinal product. So the pharmaceutical products is more products that representing the approved information, especially the dose form written in the regulatory documents. The medicinal products represents the products that delivered to the patient. So while the regulatory document can specify the dosage form for maybe 1 milligram, but the production can be different forms in different way. So this ontology try to differentiate that as well. And now let's switch back to the drug ontology. So the drug ontology didn't define anything called medicinal product. By the way, the medicinal product in IDMPO does not only including drugs, they also defines medical devices and combinational products, but the drug on is focused on drug. So drug products is defined in this drug ontology, and they use Buffalo, and they take a realism-based approach. So the drug ontology utilized some ARCS norm under the Buffalo structure and provides the connections from a product to its active ingredient and the mechanism of action by combining different resources and reformulated them into an OWL format. So that is more contribution of the drug ontology, and you can see that drug products has the different forms of a drug that forms as a subclasses of a drug product. And the logical definition is that this is a material entity, so it's different with IDMPO as abstract. And material entity bears some clinical drug role, and then has some proper part that is scattered molecular aggregate and bears some active ingredient. This way, it's linked to the active ingredient. So let's look at the SNOMED CT. The SNOMED CT is the goal of SNOMED CT. I only look at the medicinal products part. The goal of SNOMED CT is more providing an international general representation. So in drugs, there are two concepts. One is called medicinal product, MP. It's a abstract representation of a medicinal product without reference to its dose form or its strength. And it has, under it has MP containing or MP precisely and MP only. So there is also another class called the medicinal product form, which is also an abstract representation. And then in this product form, it include the ingredient described, the active ingredient subclass and the group dose form. So see here is an example of the SNOMED CT representing this telepressin drug. So the mother term is a product that containing this, and then the product containing only this, and then product containing only in some medicinal dose form. In this way, the products is arranged by containing the telepressin and or only the telepressin, and then under it you arrange different forms across, in general, across the internationally. And then ARCS norm is an US-based drug terminology. The ARCS norm is more aims to presenting the clinical drug that it is a pharmaceutical product given to a patient. So in ARCS norm, the name of the clinical drug combines is everything, the ingredient, strength, and form. So this is an example if we are looking at this drug. Terlivaz actually is the same telepressin. This contains the same active ingredient, but you can see that there are a lot of items listed out under the Terlivaz injectable products, because Terlivaz is a brand name, and then this is package, and then they give a package's name, and in the packages it's differentiate the telepresent 0.85 milligram in injection or the other form or the strength. So at least the ArcSnorm provides the quick lookup, and we can find the brand name of this drug and the active ingredient. So the conclusion is that the IDMPO represents the most complicated information and logical definitions. And the aim is to differentiate or harmonize the different representations of the same drug entity across different jurisdictions. And the IDMPO does not provide the controlled vocabularies such as ArcSnorm and the DRAGON. The SNOMED CT maybe is the most closed to represent the drug information in the IDMPO, but the SNOMED CT does not provide the manufacturers or the strength representation as it did in the IDMPO. So the drug and ArcSnorm are both US focused. The drug on ontology may be extended to include more content from ArcSnorm, for example, brand names. I'm doing this comparison is to see that if we could integrate the IDMPO with the existing controlled vocabularies. So my conclusion is that it is possible to integrate IDMPO with other ontologies or terminologies. So that's all I have. Thank you so much for your attention.
Great. Thank you, Asia, for the good talk. Any questions from the audience?
Thank you, Asha, for great talk and great introduction. Just quick question, as you touched upon, so many of these resources are US-based, and do you have any specific plan to incorporate any kind of those resources from European side?
Can you repeat?
I wonder if you have any plan to incorporate in those kind of like European dictionaries of medicinal.
Yeah. So the goal for this IDMPO is to make each pharma company easier to be able to submit their products, provide their product information into a standard format to the FDA or EMA or any other agencies. So the question to what you said is yes. And so I have my co-author Sheila. She's on the line. Probably I can invite her to add some more about this. So the whole IDMP is Pistoia Alliance project. So there are a lot of industry members join this project, and Sheila is a key person to initiate and keep this project going. Sheila?
Yeah, since Sheila is not available for talk. So looks great. Yeah, one question I have is it's about the like upper level alignment, right? So as we know, like drug ontology is more like a BFO, the basic formal ontology aligned. And the IS norm is really not an ontology because they focus on individual drugs and then classifying them based on checklist. They don't usually look for hierarchical structure, but definitely the drug ontology, kind of more like converted IS norm into ontology format. So for the IPMP ontology, so I see it seems like usually it doesn't have a clear upper level ontology, right? It's just everything on the thing, right?
Yeah, that's why we have another paper to the voice to say to present how is our practice to try to align this ontology with the basic formal ontology, because other ontologies that Postora is building mostly are based on the basic formal ontology.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, for the talk.
Thank you.